Hey guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back.
J'arrive en Haircare, Jojo, je suis à l'aise. Je fais ce qu'il a donné, y'a trop d'espèces dans la valise.
Today, in honor of me going back to work, I figured what better, sorry, let me just adjust you guys. Okay, what better thing to talk about than what work bags do I want to buy, right? Because the first thing that I thought about when I landed my job was like, what work bag, like what am I going to wear and what bags do I need, right? Because that's always obviously the first thing you think about when you get a job. It's always the first thing that I think about when I get a new job or start something new, or like, what am I going to wear to do this? And what kind of bags do I need to do this? So I have a list, and it's actually probably not what you might expect. I have a list of 5, although while I'm talking, maybe some things might pop up into my head or whatever. I'm going to show you pictures as we go. And I would love your opinions on which bags do I need to add to my, like, I feel like so many of my bags, I will link. It's changed a little bit. So actually, maybe I won't link it. But anyway, I will have a new full collection video coming out probably at the end of the year or the very beginning of the year, because it has changed slightly. I have definitely added some really good things, I think, to my collection. So it has changed a little bit. But I feel like my collection is really not work friendly. It's not really work appropriate. But I do definitely need a few. I was going to say 1 or 2, but we all know it's not going to just be 1. Sorry for all of the shadows. It's kind of a weird day outside. We all know it's not going to be just 1, honestly, and it's probably not even going to be 2. But where do we start is the question. And I would love to know from you guys, all of you who work like outside of the house, or I guess even if you work in the house, but like maybe you go carry your stuff to like a Starbucks or like whatever. What do you use? What are you loving? What works out the best for you? It's been quite a while since it's been at least a decade, honestly, since I had a job where I actually had to drag a computer around with me. It's been a very long time. My previous position before this was something that was just like in an office. I never left. I was there for 700 hours a week. And so it didn't really matter what bag I had. And actually, that was part of the era when I sold a lot of bags, because all I would do would be I would go to work. I would use my favorite bags, but I would go to work. I would put it in a drawer in my office because I would have patients coming in and out of my office. I would put it in a drawer. I would lock it up, and I wouldn't see it for, about 10 hours while I was at work, literally, like sometimes 12. So that was part of the time frame where I sold a lot of things that obviously I later regretted and then started buying again. But it has been quite a long time since since 13 or 14, since I actually had like equipment to drag around with me. And it seems like this is going to be the case for this position as well. So it's a new decade. It's a new time. I'm going to need some new things to carry my stuff with me. And I would love to know from you guys what you are loving. So let me tell you what I'm thinking. You tell me what you think, okay? Number 1, I have taken you guys into the Coach store multiple times. I have said, if I had a job, I would 100% get the Coach Empire 40. I love it. I think that I'm still on board with this. I think this is one of probably the first ones that I need to grab myself. Originally, I was thinking I wanted like the burgundy, the burnished burgundy version. But now I think not burgundy. I think I'm liking the olive better. I think that's the one I would go with. I think it goes with both black and brown. I'm not such a fan of black, although in the workplace, I sort of feel like I am, just because it always kind of looks polished and put together. And it's not so much about, yes, it's about what I want to wear, but I also think of black as being a little bit more like elevated and a little fancier. So when I'm hanging out at home, I have cats, I have a dog, I have like fur on myself a lot of the times. And so I think part of the reason that I don't gravitate towards black, I grew up with white cats. And so I never really gravitated towards black, honestly, because I couldn't just go home, like be home in my clothes, in black clothes. I would be covered head to toe in white fur. So I think part of the reason that I kind of stay away from black, besides not thinking that it is really my color, obviously I have it on today though, but obviously, I feel like it's not really my color, is also because my life is so, like, when I'm not working, I'm in a very hot environment and it is so casual that I really gravitate towards like grays and whites and lighter colors, not only because of the weather, but because I hang out at home a lot. I'm like in my bed on the couch, and I like, it doesn't show the animal hair, I guess. I don't know. I think that is the crux of my issue with black. But going back to work, I do think like when I worked, I always wore black pants, black boots, black bags. Like I always wore black things. A lot of work appropriate clothes are black or brown or darker colors. So my thought is that an olive colored bag would probably work the best because I can wear black with it, but I can also wear brown with it. I can also wear white with it. Like it looks good with everything. It's a neutral. It works with warms, it works with colds, it works with everything. It will be a great bag at least for most of the year, and then maybe in summertime I'll switch it, but I actually think it kind of works for just all seasons. So yes, so that is my thought on the Coach Empire 40. I love it. Again, the only reason I didn't buy it before was because I had nothing to put in this bag, but now that I have all the things to put in it, I think it might work pretty well for me. So that's number one. Number two is, I know this one's kind of like, okay, if you have been here before, if you know this channel, you will know that I like crazy things. Like I like crazy things. Most of my collection is off the wall. I really don't have a lot of very classic items in my collection, period. In my clothes collection, in my jewelry, well, my jewelry collection maybe. But like I like over the top things. I do. And so I don't think you will be surprised when I tell you that I like the Michael Kors Fringe Hamilton bag in the larger size. I actually used a Hamilton bag. I had one in navy blue, probably a little over, like probably about 12 or 13 years ago. I used it for work a lot. It held my laptop. It was perfect. And so I'm wondering now that the Fringe version came out. I haven't been a fan of Michael Kors for a very long time, but I feel like they're trying their best to come back, not out, to come back. I feel like they've really been on point. They're sort of using Coach, I think, as sort of like they're just taking a book out of Coach's playbook in terms of like coming back and, becoming popular again. And I'm loving the Fringe. Like the Fringe is a moment. I know that it's not going to last forever. I know that it's not going to be something that is going to be like in style forever. Although I do think Fringe is sort of a classic trend, if that makes any sense. Like I do think that it's always kind of here, but maybe like under the radar. There are seasons when it is more popular than not, but it definitely is one of those things, just like lace, just like velvet, that are never fully gone. Like it's nothing new. They've come and they've gone so many times over, the decades, that they are a classic trend. And so I think it's a great bag. I already talked about this and I showed you guys and all that stuff. I bought a Coach little bag off of Poshmark, actually super small. Actually, I think works best as sort of like a belt bag versus like an actual bag. And I got it in the Fringe thinking that would like scratch my Fringe itch. And while it does, because I didn't have anywhere to go previously and I really didn't need big bags or whatever, it was more like a fashion piece. Now that I have stuff to hold, I think it is not a bad idea to maybe grab the Fringe Hamilton bag while it's still available. I like it in the like the chestnut brown color, the darker brown color. That's the only one that I think that I would get. I saw it in store. I think it is great. I really actually love it in the East West, but I think that I would use it way more as a work bag than I would just as like a fashion bag. I love it. So I think that's another one that I'm probably going to grab. I don't know which one I will do first, but I think they're both top of my list. The next one is very, very simple for me, actually, and just obviously coming off of the whole explanation of how I like crazy things. This is a very classic. This would be the boat and tote. Okay, so first of all, for whatever reason, this summer, these past few months, I have actually been completely obsessed with the boat and tote. I bought myself a medium. So first of all, I've always boat and totes are classic, of course, but I never actually had one. I started getting interested in it because I saw the boatkin, which I was like, oh my God, that's fabulous. And then I think the company, first of all, it was $1,500 from the actual person that started the trend. Then I think Hermes tried to sue them or sent them a cease and desist or something because they completely changed the design. It didn't no longer look like a boatkin or a Birkin or anything. And they changed it and they changed the name and the whole thing. But these secondhand, or not secondhand, like Chinese companies obviously followed suit, and there's a ton of them on the market now. I really love it, but I have heard kind of like some feedback from people who have purchased it that it's not the most comfortable bag. So I decided to go just straight up with the regular LL Bean boat and totes. I have a medium one, which is actually pretty perfect for work, although it is like in a summery color, and I didn't get it with long enough straps that I think it would be comfortable on my shoulder for long periods of time. But all summer, I actually bought myself, I bought them as gifts for people. Like, it's actually ridiculous. A whole bunch of like the mini versions of the boat and tote, which is literally my favorite everyday, like weekend bag at this point. It is just like the perfect bag, honestly. And I love it. I want it in every single color. They also, so as I was looking on the LL Bean site the other day, this popped up. This is a beautiful, so it's a boat and tote, but has like a wax coating of some kind, and the handles are this beautiful, like worn looking leather. According to the reviews, it's a little bit worn looking. Oh my God, I love it so much. I think it will go with everything. I think it will go with a lot of things that I have already that I will be wearing for work. My palette, even though I said that obviously I'm going to add some black in because I think a lot of work clothes come in black. It's the easiest color, blah, 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 blah. A lot of my work clothes are probably going to be browns and navies and tans because that is, I think, most of what I have in my closet already. And I think that this will just go with absolutely everything. It is one big black hole, but that doesn't matter because, well, it's not really a black hole because it is a light colored bag. So it's really not going to be very hard to find your things in it. But from the pictures, it looks like it is definitely long enough to throw over your shoulder. I don't wear big coats here. Obviously, I don't wear coats at all. So I think for me, that's not going to be a problem. I think that's going to be fine. Sorry for the lighting. I think that it's going to be perfect for that, honestly. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually loving it. I think it is very simple and very classic and very like old money aesthetic, maybe not so much my thing, but every once in a while, I do want something simple because the rest of what I'm wearing is crazy. Also, because I'm going to be working like business to business and I'm going to be talking to people, I have to dress based on where I'm going. So depending on what business I'm going to, depending on who I'm seeing, et cetera, will dictate what I'm going to be wearing. And so to have something like a simple boat and tote in my arsenal of bags to wear, to a business that or to see people that I think would appreciate that or might not appreciate me wearing something else, I mean, it's sales. I got to do what I got to do. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's a good thing to kind of keep and have. And it's also one of those things that it doesn't matter how much you beat it up, it only looks better and better with age, in my opinion. So that's another good thing. So yeah, so I love that. The next one is, all right, so this is questionable because I don't really love this bag, but I do think that it is probably very functional and very comfortable. So, and I know probably a lot of you have that. So you have it in your collection. So you let me know what you think, okay? It is the Longchamp Le Pliage in the large. I hope that I'm saying that right. I don't really know. I wouldn't get a black. I wouldn't get a regular color. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of the classic colors in this bag. I do, however, sometimes they come out with like random, really pretty colors. The reason this one popped into my head was I was watching Jessie Styles' channel. the other day, and she was actually doing the pink bag, which the pink bag the pink bag video for October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I actually just filmed that video, and you might have seen it. I think it came up right before this one goes up or has gone up. And I saw that she had this beautiful pink on pink Longchamp version. And that is something I could get down with. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it online. It was probably a special color for somewhere. I don't really know. I would have to find myself like a really pretty color that I like. I know that I don't remember it might have also been her channel. I'm not 100% sure, but somebody was showing like a mini version in like a light, like an ice blue color, which was also very pretty. I think it was her though, honestly. Anyway, either way, I'm looking for it in large, but let me know. I mean, it's an extremely comfortable bag. I know that. It is also very lightweight. I know that, although not very structured. So I'm wondering how comfortable it would be to hold like a laptop, etc. But anyway, you guys let me know if you have it. Do you use it for work? How do you feel about it? Do you love it? All of those things. Let me know what size you have. Do you carry a laptop, etc., etc. Now, the last one on my list, I feel like this is a bag that I actually had many, many years ago and wore to work all the time, and then I sold it at some point. It is I think they're coming back out with it this year, although I would, of course, buy it vintage. I'm looking at myself, and I know that I have like a big line right through my face. So again, I'm sorry. Wrong time of day to film this, I think, and the sun is like at a crazy angle. Anyway, and very strong today, but it keeps on going in and out of the clouds. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, we're almost done anyway. So if you can ignore this as best you can. The last bag, I think that they have reintroduced it, if I'm not mistaken, although I would definitely buy it vintage, would be the Chanel Surf Tote bag. I have many vintage bags on my radar for like tote bags for work and things like that. That'll be another video, and I'll go over that with you guys because I have some really fun ones that I am dying to grab for work, although they are not your typical tote, like work bag. I wanted this video to be about like just like everyday work bags, what I was going to add. I am sure that I'm going to grab quite a few. This will be my invitation to myself to buy quite a few tote bags that I have been eyeing, that I have kind of like put off because I'm like, oh, I don't really have the use for it, for that much space. But that's not in this video. This video is about, I think, more simple bags that will go with many, many outfits. So in my opinion, I had the black version of the Surf Tote from Chanel. I would love it in a different color, though. I don't think that I would love it in black again, although it probably would be most practical with the black and the gold like I used to have. I think that this is an absolutely fantastic bag. I did use it a lot for work. However, when I had it for work, I did not carry a laptop. So I would love to know from anybody that uses this or has it, does it fit your laptop? How big is your laptop? Do you find that it holds all your stuff? Because yeah, I definitely did not have it when I was working in a place where I had to carry like all of my hardware with me. Anyway, I loved it for work. It worked out really well. It was a very comfortable bag to have because it had the big shoulder strap. It also had the handle, so it was extremely comfortable. It had the removable pouch on the inside, all of that stuff. But yes, if you have it, if you carry hardware with you, like a laptop or an iPad or anything like that, let me know how it works for you. And like if it's comfortable, if the laptop fits, et cetera, I would love to know because that is definitely one on my list. Again, I don't know, maybe I would get black. I mean, I probably do need at least one black bag, but I'm not 100% sure what black bag that would be, but maybe it would be this one. But I do have my eyes kind of set on this bag. Came in a really beautiful pink color. Of course, that's the one that I would choose, right? It came in a really beautiful pink color. And yeah, like that's the one that I keep on like it keeps popping into my mind about like, okay, what would be my favorite? What would be the one that I would go for? And it kind of might be pink if I can find it again. I know it's sold. I think it was on Fashion File, if I'm not mistaken, but at a super great price. But anyway, I have my feelers out for one. Maybe I would do a tan or something like that. I don't really know. But anyway, yeah, give me your feedback. I would love to know what you guys think about my list, my choices. Let me know if you have any of these, what you feel like, pros and cons, et cetera, et cetera. I would love to know. And stay tuned because I will definitely in the near future be doing a list of vintage designer bags that I would love to add into my collection for, just in general, but also because I think that they would be functional for work. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. All right, guys, if you haven't made it this far, I truly appreciate you. You guys are the best. You know that. If you have not already subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet, I would definitely appreciate that as well. It helps me so much. It's such a little thing and it helps me so much. So I would totally appreciate it. Other than that, if you are not done watching me yet, I'm going to leave a video over here in case you have not already seen it. I will be back on Friday with another video. I post videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays typically. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.